मेरे को तो ऐसा धक धक हो रहा है.
With the upcoming release Jawan just one day away, there are a lot of expectations that have been running in the minds of the audience. How is the commercial action entertainer going to fare? Is Atlee going to overcome his usual struggles with his indulgent screenplay? Is SRK absolutely going to slay in the supposed several roles he is portraying? Is the action going to be top notch? Is Vijay Sethupathi going to be a force to be reckoned with? Are supposed cameos going to really happen? There are so many questions that has genuine movie fans nervous and curious about what is going to transpire tomorrow morning. But because I had to prepare for the Atlee mania that will commence in theatres tomorrow, the preceding days was filled with an Atlee filmography marathon. Just to get a clear idea of his form, his inspiration, the criticisms that have been formed along the journey, and what I believe are his biggest strengths and weaknesses. Through this video, I wanted to talk about his films and rank them from the most underwhelming to the most impressive. And you also do chime in the comments below of your rankings of his filmography. So here is Tried&Refused Productions with ranking Atlee movies from worst to best. Number 4 goes to Bigil. The last movie release of Atlee was the third collaboration between the director and Thalpathy Vijay that released in 2019. The movie did exceptionally well at the box office despite its mixed reviews, and I have to say that its screenplay can be best described as being all over the place. The one thing, however, I've clearly recognized watching Atlee's 4 films is that there are always a few aspects of his films that will be clear standouts even if the overall product doesn't hold together. And when I think about Bigil, the winner has to be the characterization, styling and packaging of Vijay's character Rayappan, the crime boss and father of Michael, who is explored when the quintessential Atlee flashback takes place. There is an undeniable swag and effortless intimidation he held in the sequences that featured the character, who fights against injustice in society but is labelled a goon nonetheless. The character easily stood out as the whistle-worthy element from the film. It is, however, in Michael being the makeshift coach, going back to his football roots, his romantic dynamic with Nayanthara, a scheming Jackie Shroff, and managing the Tamil Nadu women's team where the film goes all over the place. Multiple slow-motion action set pieces, bruised egos, a one versus the entire women's team sequence that absolutely nullifies the capability of the female players, a women empowerment attempt at addressing patriarchy through acid victims that limits women's individual growth, football sequences that border on being unintentionally funny where referees are attacked, a drug-induced action set piece that will put Jason Statham's Crank to shame, and instilling rage within players to win the game in the climax. Who would have thought that the best performance can come out of a player if you fat-shame them? What was slick and stylized initially borders on being way too over the top, and it really transformed to become a poor product holistically despite moments of mass commercial magic. Number 3 goes to Mersal. If one equates Atlee's films to have multiple films within films that somehow still work as commercial star-driven products, I would reference Mersal as a prime example of the same. A magician, a doctor, and a village wrestler. Thalpathy Vijay in a triple role has several plot points that work exceptionally well and others where you just feel compelled to go with the flow. I think there is no doubt when I say the most engaging sequences of Mersal include Vijay's character Vetrimaran and the lengths to which he contributes to his village and the personal consequences and loss that he undergoes when crossing paths with money-hungry and sadistic individuals. This is where the movie is the most emotionally impactful, and I feel this is Atlee's strength, where he dives deep in providing context for characters in the present through flashbacks. While I did not connect with the dynamic with both Samantha and Kajal, it was Nitya Menon and Vetrimaran's dynamic that really stole the show for me. The play of twins switching multiple times throughout the screenplay extracts entertaining moments, but I would be lying if I did not roll my eyes at the several stylized and dramatic moments where the skills of the doctor and magician are showcased in their full glory. Exposing the rackets in hospitals becomes the prime focus of the story, and the film transforms to a cat and mouse chase with vigilantes, the police force, and the money-hungry businessmen. I must say the callback to the beer bottles made me cheer at my computer screen. And the film turned out to be an entertaining ride that was surface level at best, dealing with its social issues. Number 2 goes to Raja Rani. the one film that is often not referenced in Atlee's filmography because it isn't the Vijay star project that one associates with him, and people surprisingly prefer it over Mersal, I do as well, is his debut film Raja Rani. There are accusations of the film being heavily inspired by Mani Ratnam's 1986 Tamil film, and there has been a history of Atlee's films taking homage to a level that borders on just plagiarism, but when I saw the film without the context, I totally understood why people prefer it over his other films. The movie takes the universally known feeling of us being an amalgamation of our experiences, success, failures, unions, and heartbreaks, and how our partners often experience the good, bad, and the ugly characteristics of our personalities, all stemming from those life experiences. The film really stands out as it explores the history and context of Arya and Nayantara's characters, especially their dynamic with Nazriya and Jay respectively. The animosity, awkwardness, and resentment that is showcased in the marriage is unearthed as one understands their history, and this is where the two broken hearts adapt and become more empathetic towards one another. Of course, traveling towards one another at their own pace. The music and score by G.V. Prakash Kumar are clear standouts, and while the running time becomes slightly exhausting, especially in the second half and the long drawn out climax, the film really shaped up for me to be a heartfelt tale that I found to be engaging. This might be an unpopular opinion, but when I look at Atlee's filmography, it definitely stands out than the two star-driven projects. Number 1 goes to Theri. Easily the most entertaining and well-packaged commercial project for me directed by Atlee is Theri. Wildly entertaining and presented with such an energetic Thalpathy Vijay, it really surprised me on how pumped I got in several sequences throughout the film. Vijay's introduction as Joseph, the soft, kind-hearted and non-confrontational personality is set in stone, so much so that you assume that he wouldn't even hurt a fly. And this is why the exceptional transformation hits so hard. No wonder everyone lost their mind in theatres. This is both a combination of Atlee's staging and G.V. Prakash Kumar's score, even when it is slightly hinted that Joseph might be Vijay. The development of the romance with Samantha, the family they establish, the powerful men he combats with that inadvertently causes personal harm and loss to him. This makes you root for a peaceful life for the new Joseph with his daughter, but the past that keeps on coming to haunt him develops into a very thrilling ride, as the seething anger within Joseph builds to again take the form of the fearless IPS Vijay Kumar. Crisp, largely entertaining, and exactly what one expected from a commercial star-led action film. It would really be interesting to see how Jawan shapes up, as I am fully geared up for the ride. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what are your favorite or least favorite Atlee films. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.